Hello everyone, this is Weity Productions, and today I'm going to be introducing a brand new series called The Single Moment That Prevented a Potential Dynasty. This series will be a bit like the What If videos that have been done by YouTubers such as Mike Korzemba, but I will be more focusing on the legacies of the players themselves rather than the actual simulations of the seasons. For the first video in this series, we will be analyzing the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that once sported Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden all out on the court at once. This team reached the Western Conference Finals to face the eventual champion Mavericks in 2011 before losing, and then they followed up that year by being defeated by the Miami Heat in the 2012 NBA Finals. However, on October 27th, 2012, the Thunder would trade Harden to the Rockets. This would be, of course, the point in time when their potential dynasty was ruined, as there was no longer a third star for Durant and Westbrook to play with. Now, I am well aware that many people, including some other YouTubers, have said that the three stars would not mesh well, as they are all ball-dominant players. But the NBA is a talent game, and I personally think that the too many ball handlers argument is overrated. Realistically, a starting lineup of Westbrook, Harden, Durant, a serviceable power forward, as Serge Ibaka would most likely have to go in order for the Thunder to clear cap space to offer Harden a max deal, and then Kendrick Perkins we could still get you by, is a pretty good team. Looking at their seasons, in 2012-13 they finished as the 1 seed in the West, which would obviously still happen with James Harden over an out-of-his-prime Kevin Martin. Also, if you remember, a big thing that derailed their season was an injury to Westbrook against Harden's Rockets. If Harden was not on the Rockets, which he would not have been in this scenario, the Rockets would most likely not have a good enough team to make the playoffs. So there is a very good chance that Westbrook would not have gotten hurt in the first round had he not played the Rockets. Thus, if Russ didn't get injured, then OKC would have as good of a chance as anybody to win the 2013 NBA championship. The same thing applies in 2014, when the Thunder lost in 6 games to the eventual champion San Antonio Spurs. While I'm not sure if anyone could have stopped that ultra-motivated Spurs team due to their loss in the 2013 finals, I don't even know if they would have made the finals that year with a healthy Westbrook and Harden. Heck, they didn't even have to play OKC in 2013, as they were eliminated by the Grizzlies in the second round. This certainly wouldn't have happened with Harden on their roster, even on the off chance that Westbrook would still get hurt. So in my opinion, I believe that the Thunder would have as good of a chance as anyone to win in 2013, and I think they ultimately would. So in 2014, the Thunder would once again face off against the Spurs, and I think it would go relatively similar to the way that it did back in 2012. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the Spurs' fire may have been gone had they not played Miami back in 2013, and if the motivation from a team is gone, all that's left is talent and athleticism, and there is no doubt in my mind who the more talented and athletic of those two teams would be. So, assuming that they would beat the Spurs in 2014, the Thunder would face up against the big three of the Heat, and I believe that OKC would most certainly win this series. They would have already played the same Heat team once. They would be older, Harden would have been a much better player, and even with King James, I still think that OKC would have a bit more firepower than that old and decrepit Miami team. I do think that they would dip a bit in 2015, as they struggled all year with injuries, but I think that Harden would keep them in the hunt, and they would probably finish as a mid-tier playoff team. However, the West was just so stacked that year that I couldn't see them doing much in the playoffs, but they would have a great opportunity to redeem themselves in 2016. With Harden added to their team, I think that the chance of them blowing a 3-1 lead to the Warriors would be slim to none. And even with LeBron being as motivated as he was to bring a championship to Cleveland, I don't know if even he could overcome this Thunder team. I could also see no way that anyone could best them in 2017, as there would be absolutely no way that KD would leave to join Golden State. If you are wondering what could potentially happen to the Rockets in this situation, I would suggest hopping over to Korzemba's video, because he covers the story from all angles. So now that I broke down how I think the seasons would go down, I'm going to look at the effect that it would have had on the Thunder as an organization, and more specifically, the effect that it would have had on Sam Presti, the Thunder GM. Sam Presti is recognized as one of the most accomplished and respected GMs in the league. Snapping back to reality for a second, he did a great job keeping the Thunder competitive, both after he traded James Harden and after Kevin Durant left. However, Presti could have gone down as one of the greatest general managers in sports history, being the architect behind one of the most dominant teams in NBA history. Unfortunately for him, he is now looked at as just a good GM who can compete and keep the Thunder competitive. Another thing to consider is that big-name players like Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul George would all be on different teams. A combination that I thought of off the top of my head to where those players would land would be Chris Paul on the Spurs, Melo on the Cavs, and PG on the Lakers. Pretty different NBA, right? Getting back to the Thunder, the players on the Thunder would have been perceived in a totally different way. Harden would be a champion. Kevin Durant would not be viewed as a snake, but as a loyal player. And Russell Westbrook would be viewed as a team player who truly only cared about winning. However, this also begs the question as to if he would be able to average a triple-double without the ball in his hands as much, and if he would win the MVP in the 2016-17 season. Personally, I don't think that he would have, as he probably wouldn't have put those type of numbers with Durant and Harden on the team, but sadly, we'll never know. Getting back on track in terms of legacy, many veterans such as Derek Fisher and Kendrick Perkins would be able to add another trophy to their collections, boosting them up as some of the best role players to ever play. The Spurs could have potentially missed out on a championship, with the same being said for Miami. The Ray Allen three-pointer has a very good chance of not happening. The Warriors would almost certainly be one-time champions, with the inevitable dynasty they would have created in real life now belonging to the Thunder. The LeBron James chase-down block would have a very good chance of not ever happening. So much of the modern-day NBA history that people 50 years from now will talk about would have been altered and changed. However, none of this can be said due to one decision that ultimately prevented a dynasty. So guys, I would very much appreciate if you left your thoughts of this type of series down in the comment section. I currently have more of these in the works, so if the reception is good, I will continue to release these type of videos. In addition to your thoughts on this type of series, if you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to be notified of when I upload a video, then please click the bell in the bottom right hand corner to receive those. Also feel free to share your thoughts of the video down in the comment section, and you all have a great day.